Hello there, today I will show you how to make a random spawner, so you can easily spawn an actor, like an enemy, on different locations on a random time. As you can see, here I have a blueprint class, an actor called blueprint enemy spawner, and I have these locations. This is just a transform variable, but it's being represented as a 3D object, so I can select this and I can easily move it. I can add another array, just add an element, and for example, is right this one, the location 4, I can move it into the scene. And that's all. I can also add a first delay, the time that I want to wait before spawning the first enemy, and a minimal value for the delay between each spawn. And I can even add a variation. Just make a right click on the content browser or go to add import, select blueprint class, actor, give it a name, and that's all. Just open it, and I don't need anything special on the components or something like that. Just go to the begin plate, it's set by default, it's this one. And what I'm doing here is add a delay. Just like that, promote to variable, so it will automatically create a variable of the variable type that you want. In my case, it's a float, is the first delay, right here. And the important thing is select insert editable. So it's going to be a public variable, and you can edit it if you select the actor, and go to the default on the details. So I can select that variable right here. And what I'm doing is call a custom event. I will show you what I'm doing this. The custom event is right here. Just make a right click, select custom event, give it a name, for example, event, and that's all. Here I'm doing this logic at the delay, and I'm using a random float in range to get a range of variables to get a random value. As you can see, by default, I have the minimum value, for example, let's say 10 and 20. To customize that on the spawn, on the instance, for example, I just go right here, browse, and I put it, I can adjust those variables without affecting the another one that I have right here. So to do that, I'm doing the same, just make an instant editable, and I'm using a minimal value. Instead of having like two variables for the minimal and maximal value, I'm just getting the minimal value and the variation that I want to add to get the maximal value. Just like that, add the delay. And here, just because I'm spawning an AI and I want to keep the AI behavior, I'm spawning an AI, instead using an spawn actor from class. So I can select the behavior tree that I want to use to control this AI. And here, the important thing, create a variable, for example, this one, and select transform right here. By default, it's this type, single variable, so you need to make an array to make a collection of variables of the same type. So you can have the elements that I have right here, for example, the locations 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And remember that to show the variable as a 3D widget, as a 3D object, you need to select show 3D widget right here, the instant editable and the show 3D, the both. So to get an element, you just need to type get, but you need to get the index. You can see here I have 0, 1. So if I want to get the first one, so just select 0. But I want to get a random element of the array. So just select the length, and the length is the number of elements, but the array starts on 0, so you need to add a -1 to use it as the maximum value of the random integer in range. Just select a get, and it's very important, get the actor transform, and then you need to transform the location. I know that this value is on a world location, but it's very important to do that. Just get the transform location, it's very simple, select transform, as you can see, here I have a location, rotation, and just connect the location with the location, yeah, and rotation, and connect that to the spawn AI. And what I'm doing right here is that I'm just going to spawn another AI if the current was killed. To do that on my AI, I'm calling this event right here. But to do that, I need a reference to the object. So here I have the variable, just create a variable of the type of your spawner, blueprint enemy spawner. And here, when the AI was killed, I'm calling that. So you can just select the spawn, what's the name? Spawn enemy, just like that. And it will call this custom event. But what you can also do to make this a loop is just set this timer by event, say timer by event right here. Select the output of the custom event right here. And as you can see, you can select a loop if you want to repeat that independently of if there's something called the custom event or not. And you can select the time that you want between each spawn, between each custom event call. And I can even copy the same logic right here to use it right here on this timer. But I prefer this way, so I'm just going to select this one. And now let me test it. So I have here first delay of 0 and a minimal delay of 5 seconds. I'm going to use like 4, for example, with a variation of 1. So this is my game. And here's the AI. It's that one. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, and that's all. You can find this game below on the description.